Welcome to the Las Vegasville podcast, brought to you by Jump Studios, where we cover topics related to everything happening around Sin City, including the social media scene, food, and a whole lot more, with some of the best, most popular accounts around the city, and talk about their success in Vegas and beyond. I'm your host, Philip Zhang, aka Las Vegas Phil. Check me out on IG or TikTok. On with the show. Welcome to this week's show. It's a pretty interesting one today, as we're going to react to the Devour Power Forbes video that just came out. Devour Power, who is a big influencer couple and agency out of New York City, has 7 million followers across all channels. And so I got the best of the best. I couldn't imagine two other people to come see this with me. Unlocked, who is the trailblazer of social media.
Am I one of the best of the best? Am I?
You're the best.
Thanks, dude.
You need that confirmation.
I was asking. I think the content, obviously it performs well and everything, but dude, for the most part, as far as content creation, I think there's way better creators in the game, in my opinion.
It's not about that.
Okay, fuck it. Then yeah, I'm the best of the best.
Better or different?
Well, I don't know.
Right? Because there's certain styles. Like I look
Sure.
at Jules Kim's videos. I know I can't do that
I could
video.
never, by
Yeah.
the way. She's sitting over there.
Shout out to Jules Kim, dog.
Phenomenal
Seriously,
videos.
great videos.
Talls.
Agree. Talls. Same thing.
I don't think I've met her yet in person. Riggs.
Oh yeah, Las Vegas Rigs.
I love her videos.
Yeah.
I love her videos.
Same.
I don't know if maybe just girls are
Shout out
better
to
than
Riggs.
guys at creating content that just people resonate better with. Maybe because they're not coming off as salesy and it's just more true. But way better content creators, in my opinion, than me. Now, unless you have a restaurant and you want to get blown up, yes, I'm the guy. But as far as creating just generalized content, there's way better ones than me, for sure.
Every single one of those people work with us.
There you go.
There you go.
You can hire
That's
an
a little
agency,
flex.
or
That's
there
a
you
little
go.
flex. I don't have to be the best content creator.
But I think there's a lot of similarities between how they came up and how you came up too. It was initially a love for food,
Sure.
just posting pics, and all of a sudden it turned into a business.
Sure.
A couple of years later.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we were popping off kind of around the same time. You know, they're obviously based on the East Coast. We're obviously here in Vegas. So yeah, in that aspect, absolutely.
And then Paul as well, who runs the biggest social media agency in town. So you've seen all this as well, as an old school social media foodie, going to Drew's events, meeting all the original players and seeing how it's come up. I thought you would have obviously great insight into all this as well.
There's three big accounts that I followed when I first became a creator on Instagram. When there was no videos, it was 1x1 photos. It was Devout Power, Daily Food Feed was one of them, and Unlocked. They're all
Whatever
agencies.
happened to Daily Food Feed?
They're
I don't know.
Jed.
Is he not posting it? He's not posting anymore, but
No.
I don't know
Yeah.
what he's doing.
So Squad Goals has since that was the first agency that I even know of. Because okay, the reason that I say those three names is because those three people are the ones that created an agency that is not like a mercenary style. There's a full-on company that started taking over food accounts. So like Halal Guys and all those guys, they used
Sure.
to, so it used to be either Daily Food Feed, Devour Power used to take them on the East Coast, and Unlocked here. That's the business model that I saw in the beginning too, and that was my inspiration. Daily Food Feed and Squad Goals, however, now have been separated, I think. And some of the founders of Squad Goals is the founder partners of our LA team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, bye.
I didn't know that's
Is
where
that
they came
separate
from.
now from the Happy Hours group? And
Yes.
Okay. Got
Yes. There's Happy Hours too, and that's Joe. One of the twins, Joe, is with Happy Hours, and Paul is with us.
Is there any beef with the twins?
Yeah, this is harmonized. A very good.
Shout out to Happy Hours,
but-
which by the way is doing the Sorry Not Sorry opening in Cerritos.
Shout out to Andy
April
Nguyen.
13th.
April 13th.
Grand
Not
opening.
that we need any agency, but we were like, why not? We're just throwing money out to fucking everyone. Let's just bless these people, bless those people. The community, dude,
So what was the soft opening like when you got there? And
Oh, it's amazing. Soft opening for Cerritos right now is packed. Wildly packed with minimal marketing, obviously. But the grand opening will be this weekend. This episode won't be out yet, though.
No, it'll be out.
Cool. So
19,
if you're watching
20.
this, you can go to any of the accounts and see the massive pandemonium grand opening for Sorry Not Sorry Cerritos.
Spring flavors are out.
Spring flavors are out.
By the way,
gotta have
shout
some.
out to Happy Hour because of this new client that's coming into town. They're called One Piece, the anime
Oh yeah.
cafe, and I think we're we're in debt of happy hour for landing that account. But bro, this is going to be a pretty exciting project for us. So that's shout out to Indy Nguyen. Yeah.
Awesome. So without further ado, we're just going to get into it. And then you got a mouse over here. If you want to pause, I'm going to pause as well. Just kind of.
I'm not
Let's do it.
pause.
Let's do it.
You want us in charge of the pausing?
Both of us.
Okay.
Both of us. So that's why we had the two. Because
I will pause every 5 seconds, Phil, and have something to fucking say.
Hey,
Okay.
that's why you're here.
All right.
Should we not talk over the?
You can.
All right, let's just go.
Whatever you want.
Let's
We're
do
just going to
this.
go for it, and then hopefully this works. All right. Okay.
Then we slowly got like 5 clients, then 10 clients. Then we started to do the math, and we were like, we could potentially.
Should we rewind this?
Is this the beginning?
No, I'll
I
rewind
think
it.
you just did like an
I got
intro.
it.
Okay, got it. So for the people that don't know Devour Power, if they're a married couple,
Yes.
I've never met them, but by this, he has phenomenal hair. Jesus.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got Greg and Rebecca Remy, and they said they started on Instagram like day one.
I feel like
came
it's
out.
around the same time that Unlock started, because by the time I got on Instagram, they're already going.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Unlock-
yeah. We had started Instagram like I think right when it had launched too, just to drive people to download the app that we had that launched.
Yeah, how long was that before we got into the picture?
I mean,
A year?
maybe a year or two. We were already pretty consistent
You
posting,
were already at,
reposting
like-
content, going to restaurants, posting dumb food pics, and wildly enough, the engagement just took off.
I think Drew was like 40,000. I want to say like 40,000 followers. Or like
Not a chance.
really?
No, maybe
20,000?
like yeah, maybe 20,000. Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw this big number. I'm like, yo, this is where I want to go. And the very first event, Emily was there, Oz was there, Tony Still Not a Foodie was there. I think
The squad. Dude,
Yeah, the
squad.
original-
Yeah.
Terry was there,
Squad.
Savor Sin City and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Susie.
Yeah, Susie was probably there. Yep.
All right, let's see this episode.
Let's do it.
Let's talk. a
Where are we
little
going?
shit,
Where are we
dude.
going with this?
Interviewed
the-
by Forbes. This is huge.
Potentially make the same, if not more, as we're making now with our full-time jobs doing this. So we ended up quitting our jobs and yeah, free art.
We got. Is this gonna bother the mic?
I mean, I can
Hi
hear it,
everyone,
but it's
and
not
welcome
an issue.
to New Money, where we talk to movers and shakers about how they made it. I'm your host, Rosemary Miller, here with Rebecca West Remy and Greg Remy, the co-founders of Devour Power. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank
We're
you,
so
thank
happy
you.
to be here.
Absolutely. So y'all seem to have the
If we were going to do it, I think that would have been the absolute best time.
Okay, so you started posting food. Who was your first client, Drew?
Okay, so yeah, shout out to Andy again, Andy Wynn from Orange County. Do you guys remember Recess Italian
Yeah,
Ice?
that's right. That's right.
The
That's right.
taiyaki.
Bro, from 0 to
stuff.
10 though. You took it from 0
Oh
to
yeah. Obviously, so this wasn't a thing, running social accounts as I guess a foodie or an Instagram or whatever you wanted to call us at the time. And then Andy reached out and said, "Hey, I have a cousin in town that owns this dessert concept. Would you want to run their account and build their brand the same way you've built the Unlocked account?" And I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Like video wasn't a thing; it was still photos. But I was like, okay, let me take a look at some examples because with Unlocked it was kind of everything. This is just one item: ice cream. That's it. Super colorful, but it was more of a. Do you guys remember like
Taiyaki?
All the
Yeah.
handheld shots
Yeah.
with the super
We were all there.
saturation and the background blurred. It was like a very specific style of photo that just people went apeshit over. And this was before people were running ads.
That's right.
And like the first Unlocked post put them in the game. They were like busy all weekend, and then they were like, "Oh my God, Drew, we're so busy." And I was like, "Really? Like, you guys are fucking busy?" And they're like, "Yeah, dude." And then their account grew to like 10,000 followers within like 2 months, and I was like, "Yeah, cool." And I took my $300 a month or whatever it was, something super low, something super low. Yeah.
Back then.
Dude, the first accounts are always the lowest, I feel
Yeah.
like. But okay, do people come up to you and say you have the best job ever all the time?
Sure.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And I'm like, dude, but with anything, once it becomes something exchanged for money, it becomes a normal job just like anything else. Obviously, it's a fairly unique job in business proposition, but as with anything, it's a job just like any other job. Everyone's getting sucked and fucked, dude.
But we do have
gotta
more
coin
time.
that.
Yeah.
It's fucking Monday and we're doing this instead of having
This is hard work.
some work meeting and
Sure.
have to clock out at 5 o'clock.
Sure.
Another great question is, what point did you quit your other income? Like,
What was your last job?
So I was working at XS Nightclub making phenomenal money. And then I left Excess Nightclub because Unlock started making a little bit of money. And then I was a server at Red Rock Resorts here in Vegas at an Italian restaurant called Salute.
Oh,
Best.
yeah.
3 nights a week.
Cheese-
which, by the
cheese
way,
wheels,
God
dude.
damn it, was like the best Italian restaurant ever.
Agreed.
But they ended up shutting down.
Agreed.
Way after I had left. But yeah, I was working at Salute 3 nights a week as a server, making decent money. It was good for what it was. Again, I had no house at the time. I was still driving the same car. Bills were very, very minimal. Carol and I lived in this little townhouse in Summerlin. And then Unlock just started taking off slowly and surely, getting more clients. And I was like, oh my God, I got 10 clients at $1,000 a month. I was like, I'm 10 grand a month. I'm fucking rich. Fuck this place. And then here we are today. But yeah.
Had Unlock not blown up, do you think you'd still be in hospitality?
Well, see, I don't know.
Was that the plan after school?
Well, no. I mean,
Okay.
I went to school for finance, got all my degrees in finance, and then worked in the nightclub industry just because the money was so good in Vegas. And that's where a lot of people get sucked into in Vegas, especially the girls, because they're so pretty and they make all this money. But it's like at some point, when you hit 35, it's like, what the fuck am I going to do? But
Hey,
Real estate.
35. I mean,
well, no, for the nightclub cocktail waitress age, that's like up there, But yeah, no, it all just kind of falls into place, and everything happens for a reason. Every little fuck up and setback that I had back then, it all happened for a reason because it led me to where I am. Without Unlocked, I don't start Sorry Not Sorry.
Yep.
I don't start Go Crane. I don't start the burgers that's getting ready to launch. Like I don't start none of this shit, which by the way is going to make way more money than the Unlocked aspect.
Little flex.
But you laid out the groundwork for all of us to do this too. All
Yeah.
your trial and error.
Well, so again, shout out to Andy again. And, he had I was like, dude, I don't really know what I'm doing as far as this agency thing. Am I able to scale it? Am I able to really monetize it and make real money? I was like, I don't know how to implement a contract. He actually allegedly sent me over some sample contracts that his agency had used in the past. He was like, dude, just structure it like this, change out the names, the amounts, fucking here, dude, have it. And I was like, okay, cool. And that's how we did our first contract. It was like a sample template from one of his agency's contracts.
Did you used to lock down clients for multi-months, like is it 3 months, 6 months, and stuff like that?
So
Did you have
so
that?
so starting out, no, which I'm a fucking idiot. Because everyone's my friend, everyone loves me, I love them, I'm such a nice fucking guy, handshake here, cool. And then again, back then it was all like actual written checks to Unlocked LLC. I wasn't doing everything electronically or auto withdrawal from their bank account, no contracts. I was like, yeah, dude, cool. And he's like, oh, can you come get your check? And it's like, oh man, you haven't been buying 2 months. Like you have 3 checks here waiting. I'm like, holy shit, I got to change this. So when I was focused on building and scaling the agency, I had to switch everything over. And again, a learning experience because none of us knew what the fuck we were doing in the beginning. It was like a wild, wild west. Trailblazers. We are the fucking trailblazers.
Paul,
Julie's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Paul, what was your last job before you guys went full time?
My last job ended. I was in sales all my life, so I was running this travel concept, and I was the director of sales there, and I was verbally written in as an owner, and that turned out not the best. And when that crumbled, is the beginning of our agency. I remember when something about Jump Force. There's a partner there, and he's an investment banker, he's a hedge fund guy, and stuff like that. And I remember coming to him saying my last job ended. It's like, well, that's really good news for Jump Force, And
yeah, because that was a low. That was a personal low for you and Mindy.
me
that
and
time,
Mindy
right?
went on unemployment for a little bit before, but that made me work triple hard. There was a moment when I thought about this agency and how we were going to structure this and how we were going to run it. And I remember talking to Drew. Drew was already starting this, and he had this he came to all of us, just a lot of us, saying, "Hey, are we going to work together, or what?" There was a deal, and I'm like, and I specifically remember you saying "Don't be fucking lazy, dude, and do this." And I swear to God, that was the words. What are you fucking lazy? I don't know what you exactly said. I'm like, man, I really need to jump into this and double down on it. So. But the number one thing that my partner saw in this business is that there's a lot of mercenaries out there. You're great, but a lot of guys are one-man band or 2, 3-man bands, and there's a way for you to do this where it's more scalable. And that's when we started really, because we all know we've been at the point where we're handling 15 accounts and it's just you're running thin. And
Anxious, dude. Heart beating, nervous. People are texting you.
can't go on. And you're everyone. You are the sales. You're the collections. You are client services. You are the production. Like you're doing everything, and not everybody's good at everything. So I believe that the real catch to this, and the biggest thing here to grow this to the number that you want is scalability. That's the bitch, because we're all artists. You have a hard time passing your art to another person to be finished, and I think that's why a lot of people get stuck in that mercenary zone, you know. But yeah, that was my last job. Was the literally start of this agency, which was about 6.5 years ago.
That was 18 or 17?
Late 17, beginning of 18.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm choking on fucking water over here, guys.
It's just such a moving.
Wait, so are you considered a mercenary, Phil?
I think he considers me a mercenary.
What the fuck was your
with it?
last job, dude?
Yeah, what
I
was your
quit
last-
my job in 2019. I worked at TD Village. I ran. Oh yeah, Jay worked for me.
Really?
Yeah.
We're all in
fucking
sales.
tight.
Yeah. And a couple things happened. Personally, one of my college friends passed away, and then I was making more doing this for 6 months straight, and then both of those things combined made me realize I got to quit. I got to just.
Were you at a
run it.
threshold of too much work because you had a 9 to 5?
I was shooting during my lunch breaks.
Yeah.
And I still had team members calling me up for shit, and then I come back and write my shitty Yelp reviews and all that kind of stuff.
Is it because you've never wanted to really scale this business model, which is why you've just kind of limited the client intake, et cetera?
I think I have a problem letting things go.
Sure.
And I think that's my biggest issue. Trusting someone that's going to come in and then I'm probably sure
you.
will leave.
Right.
Sure.
And I just don't want to go through that. I like being in Japan for 3 weeks and not having to give a fuck about a meeting or whatever. I can just do
Also,
everything.
the way you can really scale it and make sure it kind of stays implemented, Damien did it this way. Don't
Hooked LV.
hire fucking foodies to run these accounts. It's you're hiring someone, a contractor, just to shoot the content and manage the page and edit the content. That shit's easy. You know, like you don't need to hire a foodie to run the page or build the content, et cetera, because that's not why an agency's hiring you. So he did it right, to where these contractors, they can't leave him and go start another competing agency or steal clients, et cetera. So that's a good thing with him. But with this, I obviously fell out of wanting and trying to scale this business model. I don't know, they'll probably talk about it, but it's just something that I just wasn't interested in doing. I don't love the client service business. Just coming from both sides as a restaurant owner and a content creator and an agency owner. So I kind of see every little downfall that they have, and I know where they're lacking and what they need to do to improve. And a lot of them just don't want to listen. I don't know if it's ego or they think some people are just dumb content creators or you're just a fucking foodie on social media. And it's like, dude, if you just shut the fuck up and listen
Let
to me.
them be. Yeah.
If you just shut the fuck up and listen to me, deploy a little capital to some good creative and content, I'll change the dynamic of your restaurant and change the dynamic of your lifestyle.
Amen.
So,
all good stuff here. But yeah, you consider me a mercenary.
What?
It's okay. I can deal with it.
oh, was that a diss?
That's not a diss.
But it's
okay.
hard to scale.
Okay, here's a good thing about mercenaries that you can
I've given up
control
on
everything
scaling as well.
I would say.
Oh, then I would consider myself a mercenary too. I mean, I have 6 people that work for me, but like they're not foodies.
Well,
I mean,
it all
I guess
depends on if your
but-
client wants you to be involved in everything or not. You know, like we have a system where the deals that are coming in, I can literally completely hand off to. It's like a kind of like a, I would say like an assembly line system where I sell and I'm the sales guy, and then I put it into this assembly line and it just gets executed. You know, I just have to show my face in a couple of meetings and stuff like that. They fully trust the production company that we have. That's not me. Okay, the reason that this helped me in our industry, though, in our little group, is that I never considered myself as the top content creator. So I didn't really. I would say that I had a disadvantage of like just relying on my account because you guys have that, and I thought that I need to come up.
It's
with
not
this.
a good thing though, Paul, because every client coming to me
I
for
understand.
social media
Well, now
management,
I
it's not
understand.
social media management. They want posts on Unlocked.
Unlocked, yeah,
They
exactly.
see these viral wild posts. 2 new clients that we just brought on board. Shout out to, Farm Basket and Dragon Tiger Noodle Company.
Both of which went insane. Those posts.
Wildly motherfucking viral, which does not happen all the time.
Right.
And then the first thing is, oh man, we're so busy, we're slammed. When can you post the next one? And it's like, if you ever fucking ask me.
Well, the
Right,
goal
they don't-
is
but they don't know.
Goal is for that to happen on the client's account. You know, that's the goal. I think our company did like a recap of how many. I had a spiff. Like, you know, you guys do use the term spiff at all? Like,
Spiff?
okay, so it's like this cash
Like a reward-
prize that
cash
we
reward.
give out for. So I make it up every month, and one of the months in February was if you hit over 1 million views on your client's account, you're gonna get I forget however much money.
In total or one piece of content?
One piece of content.
Oh, bro, you need to sign me up to your agency. I'm
No.
Some of these client accounts are wildly going crazy.
Once a month. So if you
I like
already
that.
hit it
I like
once
that.
in a month, that's the cap for that account.
Okay, cool.
Bro, how many? I want to say like 15, 20 accounts.
That's great. That's a cool thing.
So I guess at the end of the day, what you want from this is to hire guys like Drew and me and Phil.
No. Don't hire. Don't reach out.
Have your
respond.
account have your account blow up, you know, so you don't need that. You might not need that on.
I agree
That's the goal.
because you don't have to rely on anyone else to blow it up if you can blow it up.
That's
Where
hard to do.
An average social media manager who doesn't have a following still has to call somebody,
Sure.
and that's
And
a
bro, like
problem.
what you're saying about how another person can go out and create the barrier to entry though, bro, is the content. How you're able, like, you know, unless you have extensive amount of training to how to teach another guy that's not a content creator how to make these videos and how to create them. Fucking join the club, dude. Go out and make your fucking own agency and get into fucking war zone because it's just hard to do, you know?
As far as the creating the content,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think
I would say-
you look at Damien's team. I think Damien's filming a majority of that content, and he's not. He literally trained them.
Yeah,
and he's super
his
hands-on.
cousin his cousin does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
now. Yeah, I can't even tell.
But a creator has to teach that. Like I'm talking about, let's just say any other marketing agency that doesn't have this
Oh, you
highly
mean like
active
any
creator.
PR agency? Yeah, dude. In that case, I absolutely fucking
The
agree.
barrier to entry. This is why we're eating their lunch, is because it's coming down to the content.
Yeah, for sure. The content is still king, whether you deploy capital to that content or not. The content will always reign supreme. And yeah, if the goal is to turn that client account now into their own sub-media company to where they don't have to pay a PR company or an Unlocked or whoever else to go out for a post, to where now your account, like how many fucking followers does Amano have?
Like 300.
How many
something.
followers
Yeah.
does Golden Steer have?
400 something.
Like the shit that they post now, not an influencer, but any cool post, like, you know, Trail Lobster and Golden Steer's account, they're getting 20, 30,000 likes.
Yeah, why would they
That's the goal.
need?
Yeah.
Why
You know
would
what I
they
mean?
need a 20,000 follower person to come post for them? They don't
Agreed.
need that.
Agreed.
You know, they can do that themselves.
They don't need an article in Las Vegas Weekly. Or
True.
would they, not.
They ended up on the cover anyway, but yeah.
Did they? They put it on the cover?
Yeah, they put your boy on the cover after he rolled out the lobsters. Bryant at Golden
Oh,
Steer
dude,
was the cover boy because
so many
of-
people commented on him.
because
He's so
your
funny.
video.
Yeah, that's the man. That's the fucking man. Yeah,
But
yeah.
you're right, they don't need it.
I got snubbed
Yes.
for top 40 under 40 again this year.
I'm waiting for a top. I'm waiting for 70 under 70.
top 70 under 70.
I got to start, dude.
I'm still under 50. I'm still under 50, dude. Is
Right,
there
the
like top
50
50
under
under 50?
All right, we're only like 2 minutes into this, so let's.
Oh yeah, boring. All right, here we go. Come on.
Go back into the careers we were in. At that point, actually, Greg was a neurophysiologist. So he worked in the hospitals, and I was in real estate, condo co-op sales posters who help maintain all the restaurant accounts that we deal with. They're fantastic.
So they have a Midwest content creator. So we were talking about this prior to the shoot. So I guess they have outside New York clients, like where they just manage.
I'm sure they do. And they have to have national clients that per client they're bringing in significant amount of money now.
Sure.
It's
'Cause I was
just a
wondering how
team of
much-
7. You can't handle that much.
Right. And I was wondering how much they could actually charge New York City restaurants because I can't imagine it's
They're definitely
that
5
much
digits
more
per
than
month. Yeah.
$5
For social media management?
Yeah.
What?
in New York City
Bro, we're about to be we're
for a mom
Anyway,
and pop
but-
like East Village Pizza or Tony Baloney's.
Oh, maybe not.
That's
Oh, yeah,
what
they
I'm
do say
saying.
that. They do say that they work with mom and pops, and of course not. But I wonder how much revenue that they bring in, dude. With 7 people, Midwest and New York.
So I was looking, and they list some of their team members on their website. Alex Obed is probably the biggest one that works for them, Five Borough Foodie. It's got about 500,000 on IG almost. And so obviously they have other people that can create good content for them. But I guess branching outside of New York City is the move.
I think it's super smart because in these other markets, I probably don't think there's like really big content creators. But there's tons of restaurants everywhere, obviously, that are probably lacking extremely in content creation and content quality. So for them, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's a no-brainer for everyone, to be honest. Like, go to like, who's a big content creator in Katy, Texas?
Right.
I'm sure there's tons of restaurants in Katy, Texas, though, you know. But the thing is scaling that, going out there, shooting the content, editing the content, doing, you know, client checkups.
Well, you have to have a person local.
Has to.
You can't scale without that. You know, that's one of the things. Unless you're able to teach really well. You know, so I would say it, at least in the beginning, would take some time to go out there, get your base done, teach some people, and then be able to leave and go to another city or something like that. But I wonder what cities in Midwest they're talking about. Are we talking about Chicago here? Or are we talking about Kentucky or like, you know, Louisville or something like that?
I don't think any of those are in the Midwest.
Yeah.
What's Midwest?
Mindy's from Midwest. I know
Iowa,
Midwest.
Kentucky,
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Chicago's
No,
Midwest, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, halfway to the west.
There we go, baby. Is that
Have you considered having out of state clients?
No, I've dropped back from taking on clients from the agency standpoint unless it's a good concept that I know I can kind of blow up and I'll benefit from the content. But I don't respond to half the emails that I get. You know, I've pawned off a couple to Paul and his agency just because I don't want to deal with it. And unless I really like the concept and think the content will do well on everyone benefits from it, I won't take it. And higher price point. Like there's no more.
They're great clients.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they're good clients. And, you know, I think you've had them for a while too. Yeah.
But I think it's probably the same for them, and they probably get hit up all the time, you know, and it has to work well with Devour Power.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you actually cold call or approach your clients ever, or is it all incoming?
Like sold to try to get a client?
Have you ever like went to a venue to land that client, or they're all incoming? For us,
100%.
It's
100% incoming for me.
I've never.
So this is why I wanted to tell everybody, like, there's enough business out there for us to be just taking on incoming clients and be where we are. I just don't think people understand how much business is actually out there, and there's no need to be like crossing leads or fighting for. It's just for us, we take what's coming to us. I'm not the guy that goes, "Hi, I'm Paul. I fucking own this agency," and I've never done that.
Yeah, sure.
And that's just in Vegas. Imagine in New York, or imagine like these, bro. There could be 10 other agencies, and I guarantee you we'd be able to be totally good with a flow of business that are coming in right now.
They said, according to the Cosmopolitan article that they did in 2017, by the end of 2017, they made $250K. And the blog started for them in 2012. So kind of interesting. I think $250K in 2017 was a massive amount of money for a social media.
That's before the agency?
No, yeah, they were running the agency by then in 17.
I mean, so that was the first real year Unlocked made money because it was the year right before I bought my house in 2018, and
yeah,
I mean more than that. Yeah, you know, allegedly. Shout out the IRS.
Allegedly.
Yo, like, so we started in 2018. By this end of second year, we hit $1 million run rate. That's fast. I feel like it's not that hard for a person to start right now in 2024 and make, as an agency, $200K.
I mean, you can have any mid or low level, I guess, creator. I don't want to use the term influencer, but creator. No, it's not low level. Damn it, that was the wrong word. Low following
account,
I guess.
Just say micro.
Micro. Damn, Phil. There we go. Micro penis, micro creator, micro. Okay, got it. Okay. Micro content creator.
Yeah.
Okay. With 10,000 followers in Vegas, which I think is a still strong following for Vegas, go out and they can go sell accounts and get clients for, I know we hate it, but $1,000 a month. They can go get 15 accounts pretty easily because who's going to pay $1,000? Everyone wants to pay $1,000.
Bro,
that's
I'm
nothing.
telling you, there's enough business out. You know what I tell everybody that joins our company, because we only hire creators, right? I tell them, okay, let's say that you are a 10,000 follower food account in Las Vegas. How many people do you think how many creators like that, collect them all, exists that does food in Las Vegas? Less than, let's say 200? Let's just say about 200 people?
Probably more than we think, to be honest.
I know, but people that actually
Are within the circle?
Have some following, and maybe even in the circle. Let's just say 200. I tell everybody when they join, I go, okay, that means if you're one of the 200, or let's just say 250, you're literally not only, and this is when I tell them about their value, you're not top 1%, you're literally top 1% of the 1%. That's how valuable you are as a 9,000 follower creator in Vegas, because there's only 2 million people here, let's say plus or minus. I always like give that example for people who are who are in our business to gauge themselves how valuable they are, how much they should charge. You're literally 1% of the 1%. You're that fucking valuable. You know what I mean? So $1,000, yes, that's easy. You should charge more than that.
Oh, for sure. But a lot of these younger creators, not younger, micro creators.
It's the way to get in.
And it's easy. You know, like they can go to Joe Schmo's sandwich shop and say, hey, I'll run your Instagram for $1,000. I'll bring all these influencers for $1,000. Same shit, dude. I was charging $1,000 per restaurant account and bringing in influencers and giving them an unlocked post and blowing them up. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is going on?
I'll give you another
part of the
pointer.
trailblazing. I mean, you know, we had to learn from that too. Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think they mentioned this in this part. I always wonder, I'll ask this question later. There's a common denominator between the successful agencies in town. Do you know what that is? Is that there's top salespeople involved. Dude, bro, I don't care if you're 10,000 followers or 20,000, 100 followers. It comes down to the sale. Are you a good salesperson? Because if you're good at sales, because you come from sales background, do you know what I mean? If you're a top closer, I don't care how many followers you got, you're going to be able to close good deals. I think the reason that there's success in some agencies, or if you look at us, is that our closing ratio is fucking ridiculous. I guarantee you, both of you guys, without even asking, are closing 90+% ratio. Because this business, I come from sales, dude. This is fucking laydowns. These are fucking laydowns, bro. It's not easy, but if you're good at sales, you can be really...
Agreed.
I would say if you're pretty good at sales, you can close 4 deals that are paying $2,500 a month, make easy $10K a month, and do whatever you need to do on top of that and make a pretty good living. That's not that hard, you know. It just comes down to how you sell it and what kind of salesperson you are. There's plenty of good creators that are not good. They probably think that they're good sales,
or
but
not
they're
professional enough.
They're not good.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'll only lose a client. Well, for the most part, like you said, all the clients coming in, it's all incoming, so it's pretty easy to close because they're inquiring your service, they want your agency, etc. So it's really easy to close. I don't think I've ever lost a pitch. I may lose on price, but I won't lose on a pitch. You know, so it all comes down to just price, I guess.
And there's a lot of places that they go ghost, but eventually they come back.
They will all come back.
I always go, oh man, they're not contacting us back. And then months down the road, they contact you. I always plant the seed and I never chase. I've never called a client saying, hey, is this happening? Or I've never done that. That's probably bad at follow-up, but I just don't.
We've been through this long enough now that this game has been around for long enough where it is a rotating cast of people running certain restaurants, and then they do come back.
Sure.
Yeah. But going back to the sales thing, I mean, being in timeshare, you're constantly turning nothing to something once an hour. So if they're halfway interested, that's a done deal.
It's a done deal. You know that. And I think the three of us, we're salespeople at the end of the day, and that's why. Well, who do you think the salesperson is up between the two? I say it's Rebecca.
Yes, probably. I mean, Greg seems to be more the creator than anything else. But yeah, all right, let's just start going.
Deserves so much credit. I think we couldn't do it without them, to be honest with you. They are phenomenal. We started with our first employee, I don't know, 9 years ago, basically, or
Yeah,
however many long.
about 7, 8 years ago.
And he's still with us, so.
You say you have these clients
Yes.
with the restaurants.
Yes.
What exactly?
Sites that could then translate into small videos for their TikToks and Instagrams. Currently, it's TikTok, Instagram. Everything changes all the time, as you know, so it could be Facebook next month or whatever else the following. But currently, we focus mainly on TikTok and Instagram for.
Are you talking about the cell phones?
Well, not the cell phones. I was talking about like the first couple of months for a new client is always the
got to
most
front load.
amount of effort.
You got to front load.
Of course.
Right, to front
Every
load
time.
and gather everything.
Yep.
And then there's always that first month where they don't believe it's going to work. They have
100%.
doubt and all this stuff.
Well, for us, we don't have a contract. We don't have terms, so we have to we have to gun it in the beginning. You guys promise one shoot a month. If you guys, like in our scope, it's one
No.
shoot a month.
Whenever it happens.
But the first month is always
I'll see you never, dude. Later.
like as needed.
As needed.
Yeah.
As needed.
That's what I started putting on that in my proposal now, as needed. But it's one shoot a month. But in the beginning, you always double down.
Yeah.
Like how many times you go in the first 60 days? You think?
At least 3 times, probably more.
I don't personally, but someone will. Yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
of course. See, that's you can't call yourself a mercenary.
Because you have
If
someone
you
else shooting
have
their content.
another person going in there and shooting it. If you
But
said
IOE
that,
works for you, right? Shooting
Yeah.
content for
Yeah.
clients. Yeah.
Well, we work together. I mean, she just shoots her content, and then we just kind of trade content sometimes now.
yeah, it's the same thing.
Got it. I did like how they mentioned cell phones and lights because we all have our cell phones and lights and shoot with cell phones and lights. I've seen tons of accounts that are ran by PR agencies or creative studios that are all DSLR focused and they look beautiful. The brand on Instagram looks beautiful, but you'll never grow an account looking like that. And they don't understand that. And I know what these PR companies are charging. Why am I always over here talking shit about PR companies?
I know, like
it gets to that
marketing
point.
company.
It gets
There
to
are
that
other
point.
types of marketing companies.
But I don't consider them marketing companies. The middlemen are shooting with DSLR cameras or whatever. It looks cool. I love the look of it. Unfortunately, you'll never have a piece of content to go viral looking like that.
Who cares?
Well, you're
if
appeasing
it's-
a lot of people that don't know anything about
Sure.
virality and social media.
I always
and
say-
they're the ones that are happy about it. So
Who
I guess
cares
if they're
if
getting
it's
paid.
pretty if nobody's looking at it? You know,
True.
That's
I
the
like
whole.
that.
That's how I say it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yo, they do to mention the PR thing though.
Oh, do they?
Yeah,
They do.
they do. But just real quick, I do want to bring this up, and I might have to bring this up later, but I'll just say it right now. There is a thing now, though, as the content changes and as the VOs and all this kind of stuff changes, clients now request. I've gotten more clients requesting us about what other types of content can we do just rather than just food porn videos
Sure,
that we're
sure.
we're used to. And that's when we had to invest a lot more into other types of creators. This is why Riggs, Angel, and they bring this newer side of
Different eye,
content
different
for clients, and it's been working for us. You know, so I always wonder. So are they able to do other types? Do all their clients, are they all Eastside Village Pizzas type where they just got to do food porn every single day?
Yeah, they might have corporate ones. Who knows? Maybe they're doing dentistry. I don't know.
Oh, you're talking about something outside of the food realm?
Yeah.
No, there's zero
They
chance.
definitely
There-
don't
no,
do
there's
that.
no way.
We
There's no way.
started doing that 2 years ago. That's a big learning curve, dude. That was like a big thing for us. That's tough, you know. And we use different types of creators for that. Bro, food is now changing. I'm just saying, food is now changing to clients asking. I get more clients asking me, "Oh, what else type of content is
Like-
there?"
like
and
what?
I always
Like
have
what?
to tell them what works though. What's growing your account is the Carl's Donuts videos of the world where you just fucking hammer
Shout
out
out to Carl's
food.
Donuts, dude.
You know what I mean? Like I always say to them, like, "Are you watching
Right.
this?"
So if they've been around for a long time, they just want to
Yeah.
see if
They've
'cause
already
they're
seen
looking
the
at account
success
and
from the
every
food
single
porn.
thing, and so in their brain they're thinking.
Do you get that at all? Do you get?
Sometimes, and I try to change up the look. I shot in like just cinematic for a whole month.
Yeah, I
Stuff
don't
like
personally.
that.
Like, what other styles of content are you talking about?
Like people with the people in it, my staff, or more
Trendy
voiceovers,
things
You
or
guys do
whatever.
voiceovers for your
Oh, I don't do voiceovers for any client.
No,
That's exactly what
No.
There's only
we do.
less
you
than a
know, and
handful
that's
that
that's
do
the
like
thing.
that.
As soon as you step into that zone, it gets more complicated, and you have to hire more for that, and you have to have different looks. And guys that can have different eyes than the guys that are really good at food porn, it's tougher to teach. I'll tell you that, right? It's harder to scale that way. But we've just been getting clients that has multiple franchises, and they're like, oh, I want to show off my staff. I'm like, now we kind of like recommend it, but at the end of the day, what the driving engine of the growth is the food porn for us.
Yes, 100%.
For restaurant clients.
So for Devour Power, do y'all ever review the food from the restaurants that you work with Devour Media?
So
yes.
I would like to change the word review.
Great
That's
question.
my only thing. We actually never review. We only post things that we love. So if there is something from a family business and that's not fair.
Yeah.
That.
Right. So if it's a mom and pop, if it sucks, I'll just tell them directly.
You won't post saying
I
that
don't-
they
I don't
suck.
post
it.
Yeah.
But I think
Or
like
if it looks cool, I'll still post
Yeah, but there's a
it.
thing going on where they actually like doing that. You know what I mean? Some people do that.
Who does that? Like a food creator?
well, I feel like big chains for me are fair game. Like I'll knock Texas Roadhouse or Olive Garden or
Hey,
something
bro,
like that.
Texas
I don't
Roadhouse-
care. Like maybe
You're right.
they're worried about that because they're worried about they
forget that you
they
do
could
do
get a
that.
sponsorship.
Sure.
Right.
But if it's a mom and pop, I'm not gonna trash it.
I think everybody has their little guidelines of what they do, but now I think it's becoming more popular for creators to kind of knock a place, regardless. Of how
Well,
big they
everyone loves a good negative review and it's funny
are. I
and they
think
get
they're more
clicks.
viral that way and stuff like that. I think I see it more now than ever. I thought the golden rule back then was just post the one that you like.
I mean, if you guys want to go super viral, just noodle broth on tap, donuts being made, and non-cooked
12
steak.
lobsters.
That's it.
Non-cooked
12
steak.
lobsters, and then you're good. You don't have to talk shit to anybody.
It's true.
Pretty easy.
Have you ever posted a negative
Never.
review?
Like a
Or
voiceover
post?
or anything? No,
No.
never.
Yeah, and it's interesting that when they reach out to me to invite, they call it a review, but I don't know if they just don't know what else
because
to call
clients
it.
think that people do because there's people that do that. That's just. I always go back to like the food critic. It's just like it all depends on what that person is expert at and what they like. I think it's different. But in hindsight, when people review stuff and they're not really like the culinary people, I think that even relates more because not everybody
Keith
is,
Lee,
yeah,
Dave
not
Portnoy.
everybody is like super culinary people, and they like a review from a person that are kind of like them, trying these things for the first time. I think that's fine. It's just for me, the negative reviews about a place and knocking down a place is something that I just don't do.
I mean, I would argue now about Dave Portnoy now because he has eaten at so many pizzerias.
Oh, bro, he's definitely.
I would
an
say he
expert.
absolutely knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Now, when he first started just doing the pizza reviews, giving out 8s and 9s to everyone, yeah. But now I would say a Dave Portnoy review is the most important review in the entire pizza industry. And a lot of the pizzolos
100%.
in the industry, the high ups, hate Dave Portnoy for that, but they can't say anything against it. 'cause
Poor
it's the
Neapolitan
absolute fact.
places, you know what I mean?
But it's true. Neapolitan pizza sucks dick. It all tastes the same. It all tastes the same. All of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you get it from. 00 Pie and Pub tastes just like Cerebello. Prove me fucking wrong.
We
I
should.
dare
All
you.
right, I guess we're going to do a taste test
dare
on.
you.
We should.
Well,
on
no, because there's a
Neapolitan
reason they
pizzas.
all
Yo,
taste
bring
the same.
frankincense.
They
and-
all
ingredients.
use the same exact ingredients for that standard, the traditional Neapolitana flour, the specific tomato sauce, the cheese grown in this region, a certain oven that's certified. There's a reason it tastes the same because they all use the same shit. There's nothing wrong with that. You can build a huge business off of that. Cerebello's massive. But still,
I did think
it all tastes
that you
the
were
same.
going to start out a Detroit concept.
Yeah, we are. I'm taking over this whole city. If you own burgers, if you own pizza, if you own a taco shop, I'm coming for you, and I want all of the smoke. And you're not going to win.
Tacos?
All of it.
Amazing.
I'm excited for the pizza.
What about a white
am
dude?
too.
What about a white dude doing phenomenal omakase sushi?
I think it would be controversial and eye-catching, and people would go.
Blow me, dude. It'll be kill it. It'll
Yeah.
be the best of the best. And we're going to do that too.
Wow.
Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry.
Like you're going to make.
no, bro.
For XX amount, Drew
Yo, if
will
you
be
do
your
that,
sushi
I'm
chef.
there, dude.
Obviously, there's tons of ideas
Yeah,
obviously
yeah,
going
yeah.
now just because obviously we kind of have somewhat of a blueprint. But once the burgers are up and going, then we'll do the pizza and the breakfast and the taco, all that shit. But it's coming. It's all coming.
All right. I'll be there.
That's not for us. That's all.
So how do you determine which restaurants you're going to go to on any given day?
Oh, God.
We do our own research, obviously. We go on, and wing place. We will be there like every day of the week. But sushi, like
Write it down, sushi and wings.
Call it swings. Yeah.
and like all this stuff that we've done.
Swings.
Well, I like that.
Love. We do what we love every single day. I mean, there's no way around that.
So when you go into a restaurant, do they know who y'all are?
Sometimes,
Sometimes?
for sure, yeah.
And-
Casual meal, but ends up like 15 dishes come
Oh my
flying out, and like this whole table's full. Everyone's staring at us. We're shining lights in people's faces. Like it's not our vibe. And
So we've all been there.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But I don't know about paying for every meal, but then those aren't the posts. Those are just...
Bro, now I would rather do that.
Yeah.
No, I think they're talking about like when they actually go
Right,
to a
just to go.
restaurant.
Yes.
Like when I go to a restaurant with Carolyn, like I'm not there to work. I'm
Right.
not even like you still film like when you go to a nice dinner that you're paying for. You still film because you're like an actual foodie that loves to film. I'm not breaking out my phone. I may do some funny story bullshit. I'm not filming
Honey
content.
salt.
I'm not putting the goddamn light on. I'm not bringing out a light. I'm not doing any of that. I'm paying. I'm tipping ignorantly well.
Yep.
And that's it. But I'm not there to work. Don't ask me to work. Don't send out free shit. I'm not here for that.
But of course they see you and they're like, let's start sending out free shit.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
It happens
Yeah,
all
that
the
happens.
time. Yeah. But I mean, you're never going to get away
is
from
why-
that. But
Dude, a lot of times I tip more than what I actually ate because of that. Like I don't want this pressure on me, to post. But a lot of times I'm going in there for a post, and that sometimes gets ridiculous. They're right. 10 dishes come out, and they're all bigger and more beautiful than how they usually make it. But about like looking better, your dish looking better than others is kind of goes back to like how a McDonald's burger on a billboard is better looking than the one you actually
Sure.
get. It's just they're in it for the marketing, and they're going to make it as beautiful as possible. And I think that makes sense. It really doesn't have to be exactly the same as what they make consistent. I think consistency is one of the things that is really hard to achieve. If you don't have that, that doesn't mean that my opinion about it gets skewed.
but then I would feel so bad. For example, I won't name the specific restaurant, but it's a steakhouse in town. I went, just Carolyn and I, mom and dad date night. I usually don't put the reservations under my name on open table or use my unlocked email just because then it gets all types of fuckery. She makes the reservations. We eat. Chef comes out, realizes I'm there, says hello. We ate a lot. I ordered a very expensive bottle of wine. I'm there thinking I'm paying. They comped the whole fucking meal. And
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
shoot any content. No content. I wasn't there to shoot content. I didn't, you know what I mean? And I felt so fucking bad. I was like, Jesus Christ. Left
Same.
a $1,000 tip just because I felt so fucking bad. And it was just, but it does happen,
Right.
unfortunately.
When they tell you at the end that they comped it and you didn't do anything,
You can shout them out for that.
ends with an O.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but I pay now.
Yeah.
I said, hey, I'm paying and still tipping very ignorantly. But yeah, like Harlow, shout out to fucking Harlow. Best steakhouse in Vegas for sure. Chef Gina was so fucking nice in Evo. I went with Carolyn for our anniversary.
Evo's the man.
Ordered a fucking expensive bottle of wine, like a $400 bottle of wine for just the two of us. Steaks. Bill was for sure well into the $1,000. And they comped the whole thing. And I felt so bad because I didn't shoot any content. I wasn't there to shoot content. But I did go back a couple more times and then shoot some videos that I posted that did very well. Thank God. But yeah.
And a lot of times it's like the busiest night because I want to go there because if it's special occasions.
Yeah.
And I know that table could have been worth a lot of money for them, but I just needed a reservation. You go in there and they comp the whole thing. I'm like, and that's why, dude, this tipping thing is getting crazy because of that. Like I'm just tipping like really significantly for them to know that.
Are you a
appreciate-
wild tipper, Phil?
I learned to tip wildly from Paul way back when.
I am
And I
a
learned it from
Yeah.
wild tipper.
True.
Wild, are we talking like 40%?
Oh, bro, 40%.
Yeah, what?
No, you want to hear my golden rule? And I don't
Okay.
want to. I never talk about this. I never post it. I never want attention. But the servers in this town know me. I'm solidified.
Sure.
I'm heavy
They hug
in
you
these
for a
fucking
reason.
streets. So my golden rule, I always tip $100, whether the tab is $60,
or
$70, $150. When it gets to 500, then I'm tipping 200, 300. If the bill's 1,000, I always tip 500. I just had dinner at Miho. It was $800. I tipped $500. Boom. I'm heavy in these streets.
Okay, I'm not that heavy.
Oh, okay. Just because, I used to be a server and or server assistant in the nightclubs. I know how it is, and I feel like so many people now. Everyone's such a douchebag thing to say. A lot of people are recognizing me when I go out to eat, and a lot of the servers and the restaurant managers and everyone. It's like I feel like I have to, but everyone gets it. I get it back in the end. I promise. You know.
Oh, 100%. I feel like that's one of the things that I'm doing good in life is the heavy tipping. And you get to realize when you tip big, you get to realize how many people don't tip well.
Oh my God, there's some wildly shitty tippers in just general.
Crazy how much money these guys don't
Even
make.
in social media, there's some wildly.
I mean, okay, so not to get too far off topic. I was in North Carolina recently with Carolyn, Asheboro, North Carolina, shithole. We went to eat at I don't know, it was like one of these corporate like fucking BJ's spots. Our bill was like $120. Got like the beer, the wings, the burgers, like $120. I tipped $100. The server ran out and got me in the parking lot to thank me, but also told me that I needed to sign off on like a fucking form because they had never gotten
That wasn't a mistake.
they had never gotten a tip that big, and I was like, holy shit. But it made her night, dude. She was like crying and shit.
She'll remember that forever.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's go back into it.
It's really overwhelming.
It's uncomfortable.
So we started obviously saying no to that and then turning it. That was around the same time that we were really Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat or another app that somebody makes. I mean, those people will go somewhere. They love social media. They're on TikTok. They're just asking for a different platform. They will be asking for a different platform.
Any opinions on if TikTok went away?
I could care less. I know you probably feel the same as me. I don't give a fuck. And it sounds wild coming from since I have such a large TikTok. And my TikTok recently has been popping.
Well, you've made a considerable amount of money on several of these posts.
Yeah. Shout out the Creator Fund.
Cross Donuts and the
But
Creator
doesn't
Fund.
Facebook pay more?
So yes, Facebook pays the most, and then YouTube pays very well as well. TikTok pays the least, but the content on TikTok has just been doing really well.
Instagram pays the least, no?
Yeah, but see, I never really counted Instagram as like
Moneymaker?
Yeah, only because recently, in the past month, I've had videos do 30 million, 20 million, and then 1 million is like really normal lately. But if you're not doing that on Instagram, you're getting nothing. You're like a couple $100 maybe.
And are the ones that on TikTok you were talking about minute plus?
Yeah, they're all a minute plus. All a minute and a second.
Yeah, I've gotten a lot, way more comfortable with doing the minute plus videos recently.
So
and
you
it's
have to
just-
like re-edit that, or you just post that on Instagram? So your Instagram videos are now longer.
Oh yeah,
than a
Reels
minute?
are more than a minute.
than a minute.
Reels
Well,
are
no,
no,
but
it's just
you
the
just-
YouTube
you
that's a
don't-
pain in the ass
you're
now
not-
because the short
you're not-
has to be
I don't even
60
care. I just
seconds
edit
hard.
into a short. Fuck it.
Well, you're not
I edit
adding
it short and it just cuts off.
Yeah, so you're not adding clips to the TikTok. You're just
No.
Well, sometimes if I'm like 58 seconds, they're open Tuesday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 9
Honestly, you think
p.m.
that's bad? Sometimes I'll just put a little elongated clip at the end.
Yeah,
with no
exactly.
music, no anything.
Little
Like, what the
slower.
fuck was that, dude?
last clip is a little slower.
I don't know.
I've done that.
Show your dog.
100%.
3 seconds, dude, of just a weird fucking kitchen sequence.
I think one of the questions that she asked was like, not what she meant. She meant, is the media company the driver as income, or your sponsored post on Devour Power is the driver income? And that's a good question,
Sure.
right? At the end of the day, and I'm thinking he's going to go into this too, is just, how hard it is to get enough sponsorship posts to make the money that you really want to make versus the subscription model that you can do as an agency.
I could never. Again, I still to this day, I don't make any money from like collab or sponsored posts.
Which is mind blowing to me.
I've only done 2.
You could if you focused only that.
Do you want to be my agency for that? I'll do
exactly-
that. I'll sell posts to restaurants, but I
100%,
don't. You know, I've done 2, I guess, big brand deals because Vegas Starfish told me I need to reply to these emails because they'll pay well, and they were both for $10,000. Shout out Raising Cane's and the Raiders. But that's it. I don't do any other brand deals. I've never done brand deals. I don't make any money from sponsored posts, really. But yeah, I've always made money from the agency aspect. But now, half of last year going into this year, obviously YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook.
And your businesses,
And the businesses.
Well,
you're putting money into that.
well, sorry, not sorry. This will be since we have 5 locations open and pumping. We'll pay ourselves this year, finally.
But do you foresee a time where you won't be able to deal with the mom and pop social media stuff if you're busy with the restaurants making all this money on YouTube and TikTok and all this stuff. Like,
That's why
eventually at some point, like the monthly fee, like if you're getting paid more, like way more for one single post on your account versus running a month.
Yeah, I would love
On a
that. I just
restaurant.
maybe I haven't found those right restaurants to pay that. But you know, Jen and Cody, Local Livin', have been a huge help with me. We're in a little group chat, and we talk how, you know, a lot of people
These deals
the
that are
prices
good.
and the
Good
deals.
deals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm like, Jesus, way undercharging.
Even anybody that's getting, I kind of know the flow of the business on that side. You don't get Pepsis of the world a lot in a year, and also there's no reoccurring revenues there. This is why if I was a mercenary starting out, I would at least have a base. I guess it takes some type of a person to be in this agency side and run other people's accounts and all that kind of stuff. That's something that you have to decide. But as long as you're okay with that, I would highly recommend having a base coming in from this side and just having this on top, because, bro, it's ups and downs over here on the sponsorship side. I would hardly, if you are a good closer, you still have to hunt down those gigs every year, however many per year, for you to make the nut that you need to make. Unless you're taking Raising Canes of the world all the time, you know, I would say that's you know, I saw another podcast with Brandon in it just now.
Oh yeah, with Vanilla Rice. Yeah,
and
good
he
episode.
said most foodies are broke. You know, he said that. I don't know if that's true, but I feel like it's coming down to hunting down those sponsorships and how many people are actually getting paid for these posts or not. You know, I just didn't want to be in that game. I wanted to create something that's not Ryu Sauce brand. I wanted to create something different and run it as an agency and just drive up as much as revenue as possible, being scalable. That was the model.
Well, specifically in Vegas, you need to be in social media management in order to stay.
A lot of people
like,
are
to
not
make
though.
money
Like,
off of
how
social
many
media.
people are actually running accounts in a,
But they still have regular jobs, don't they?
True that. So,
Think so?
maybe Brandon is right. Maybe a lot of people are broke in this business, dude. Don't know.
Well, I think
think
the
they're broke.
business side of it, I would say no, because the overhead's so minimal.
Right.
Like if you go get 10 clients for $1,000, you're making $10,000 per month. But what are you spending to get that? Nothing. Your time, maybe to walk into a couple spots, like, hey, I do this, do that, yada yada yada. Like the overhead's like
Wait,
so
hold
minimal.
on. 10 clients though. That's a lot of time.
I'm just saying, for someone who wants to just go out and do it, it's easy to do, and it's not that much time. 10 days in a row.
It's fun to do.
Compared to regular work.
It's
They're
fun.
ecstatic.
Being a
They're so happy to
bartender.
be
This
in the
ain't 9 to
game.
5 for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, you get to travel, work from wherever, like, and you're making good money. Like, it's easily doable, and they're so excited to do it. Like when I was up and coming, I was so excited to go film content at your restaurant and blow you up.
Yep.
What did I always say, Phil? I'm the one getting sucked and fucked now. All right.
You're on that side. Also, you know what I gotta say? Like, I would say that there's more guys in food industry doing management, you know, content management and social media management. If you just step one toe over to another industry, there's another zero behind these retainers.
Oh,
you know,
bro. Yeah.
if I was a good content creator, even in food, and you're good at making content, I would seriously consider taking just one step into another field and see what their budgets are like. Because restaurant budgets, bro, mom and pops, that's not big.
True.
We do weddings. So we have the Marriage License Bureau as a client, and we have the Little White Chapel as a client, and a couple other ones. Bro, government contracts are a beautiful thing, you know, and I would highly advise people to just kind of like venture out into another. Of course, yes, your niche is food and you want to do food, and I understand that. And there's a huge learning curve with other people, and there's a lot of other marketing companies that are attached to these brands that you have to work alongside with. But it's just that there might be another zero behind their budget on marketing, you know.
Yeah. Good insight. I just got my first furniture
Yeah, you're doing it?
today. No, I'm not doing it. That's work.
My inbox is filled with fuckery, dude. I'm like, dude, who fucking told you I
Yeah.
do this? Like, someone was like, oh, a tattoo artist to do. I'm like, bro, I
Right,
might give that to
right.
you guys, bro. Like,
We don't do tattoos.
yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you want me to do? Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
First 10 people that go in line get a free unlocked tattoo.
Stop, dude. Stop the madness. But honestly, that's why I got into wanting to start my own concepts. I was like, bro, I'm over this client business shit. Like, I'm over it.
The 2 o'clock phone text.
Blow me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every day something changes, algorithms change, a new app appears, a different app fails. We've seen so many since, MySpace days that I don't think we really are that worried about the TikTok thing going on. And also there is time for...
It's pretty cool.
He definitely loves it.
So with social media, I know you had your restaurant at first.
Do you guys still love editing?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, I still edit 4 new videos every single day for Facebook and YouTube Shorts and everything. I fall behind on Instagram only because I feel like so many people, myself included, and maybe I'm thinking too far in depth with this. Every post has to be like a new fresh piece of content with a voiceover and a minute long and blah, 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 and tray and this and noodles, broth coming out of spouts and fucking shit. To where if it's not that, it's like, okay, I just won't post on Instagram today. I'll just continue posting on Shorts and Facebook and TikTok or whatever. But I don't know. But yeah, I still enjoy editing. I don't know. Again, it's a job with anything else.
See, that's the thing. Like, if you hire a person, no matter how much they enjoy doing it, you have to kind of gauge it as a work time spent. I would say that we spend a lot of time on it, but it just doesn't feel like work. I would say if you were to convert this into hourly time, work thing, you would realize that you work way more hours now than when you were a 9 to 5 or
The
whatever.
weekly report on the hours I spent on my phone is quite a reminder.
Depressing, yeah.
I guess the flip side of that is that those were enjoyable hours versus now. So, a lot of people go, oh, I want to become this foodie and, I don't have to work. I'm like, well, you work a fucking ton more doing this. It just doesn't, it's fun work.
I mean, yeah, you look at like some of the people that really popped off in the past like year that don't run accounts that are just strictly on the content creation aspect side, like the like How Kev Eats, like eating in his car, or the Jack's Dining Room that I really enjoy his content on TikTok. And that guy's traveling fucking everywhere, dude, just to do like food videos. And it's like, is the payoff worth it? I don't know. But if you treat it like a job, at some point, I promise the money will come into play.
Right.
You'll be good.
Money is just a byproduct of good content.
Of course.
And that's true for all of us. Yeah. I want to actually go back to what you were saying. Sometimes you're fine posting on TikTok or YouTube, but for some reason, and I feel this way too, IG is like another level where you feel
holy grail.
like it has to be at a certain level.
Well, because I feel like
Right?
the engagement kind of proves that, right? Like
Right.
if I just post like a whatever video, like last night's post, a little steak and lucchini, like, yeah, it's a cool video. It did okay. But it's like, I know if I would have spent some time and a fresh piece of content and went and did a voiceover, yeah, that video gets 1 million views all day. So it's like, but it's like, man, do I really have the time? It's like, I enjoy what I'm doing, the quality of life, wake up when I want, do whatever I want, got my kid. I don't know. But yeah, if you treat it like a job consistently, you'll be fine.
Do you think that says that audience in Instagram is a little bit more advanced or higher I than other platforms?
I think it's just how we hold it in IG in a certain regard, because I don't give a shit what I post on YouTube,
Yeah, I don't fucking care.
Definitely
stuff
not.
like that.
YouTube is just
but a lot of people do, because it's, I don't know. It's just interesting how I feel that way about IG
I think
as
just
well.
because the following is so Vegas-centric that when people see Unlocked just posted a video, they're expecting
yeah, you're right.
the voiceover,
Right.
the whole
Right.
show.
certain elements
That's
that
true.
Yeah,
yeah.
Very
and when it's just like
geo-targeted in on IG.
a steak getting cut into, unless it's golden steer raw steak, the engagement can kind of be hit or miss. And again, going back to like something that Jen Vegas Starfish had said, I was like, oh man, or these clients, even if a video flops and gets 100,000 views, it still does well. And she was like, we have to stop normalizing, because I said that. And she said something that really stuck with me. She's like, we have to stop normalizing 100,000 views as a flop.
Yeah.
As a flop. And I was like, 100,000 views, and it'll get, 2,000 people shared it, and 1,500 people bookmarked it, and 100 comments of real people. And she's like, that's all organic engagement. Like, for a restaurant to pay to get that, that's $5,000, not just counting the shares, not the CPM, but like, what's a share in a bookmark worth to you as a restaurant owner? Like someone wanting to share that piece of content with a friend and bookmarking it to save for later, which means they're probably going to go at some point. I think that's more valuable than a view.
Well, at the end of the day, if we're talking about results, I'll tell you right now, we've done like at least how many events now in like last 6 months? I would say 6+ events that we do for, and we always talk about our clients about like narrow and deep versus wide and thin, not like influencer campaign where they just come in and post and hoping that the general sales go up.
Sure.
We go for that one day, grand opening day, or that one day. It's not Unlocked and Las Vegas Phil posting for us, but with posts that does
You've never asked, by the way.
No, no, it's just we don't have the budget for that.
It's free. It's free.
No. Yes, you're right. It would be great to have, because the difference there is that one of you guys can create these type of results. We do a lot of guys that are not going over 100,000 views, but the results
and the results
are
there.
3-hour waits.
Yeah.
And of course, you also have to do some meta ads that pitches into this exposure too.
I will say that over organic all day.
All day long. And
All day.
I think that's like a key point that a lot of people miss as a client is that, bro, there's organics and the paid ads. The combination is strong. But my point being is like, bro, 3-hour wait out the door, people waiting in rain, that comes from not, yes, that could come from one unlocked account, but this is bunch of posts that are not going over 100,000. So going back to the viral, you don't have to hit 100K. You just need the right target and right messaging and right kind of content to create that type of traffic. And I think the results show itself,
Yeah, I just feel like so many restaurant owners are now expecting that 20 million view, that 30 million view. And it's
You
like,
set the bar
it does happen,
way
and it
too
happens fairly often.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo me, but it's like, and I said, well, man, even if a video flops and it gets 100,000 views, and Jen was like, we have to really stop normalizing 100,000 views as a flop.
Again, though, without a real good content creators, they don't even have a fucking shot. Like you have to use creators in this field, not a social media manager. You know how many fucking social media managers are out there? Like they
say it in their
call themselves
bio.
a social media manager.
Really?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking say it in their bio. Or social media expert in their bio. Pretty funny.
At the restaurant approached you guys, and that's how you kind of made your first lump sum of money. How long did it take you to actually make money solely?
At BlackRock, and to be honest with you, I moved him quarterly.
Is that a plug?
What's the minimum?
And he is really put into place.
We ask everyone this, so we want to know, what has been your smartest and your dumbest purchase since falling into money?
Okay. You guys go first. Smartest and dumbest?
Well, I mean, smartest is probably starting Sorry Not Sorry. Does that count?
Sure.
Or a house, or like something
Or
actual.
maybe a house.
I mean, maybe my house, I guess.
Yeah, same with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, dumbest.
Wow.
I had to think about this one for a while. I've had a lot of stupid purchases.
The SAMG, pretty fucking stupid purchase. This watch, pretty fucking dumb purchase.
Why was that a dumb purchase?
Oh, dude, the maintenance on those motherfuckers. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're cool. They're great. But, dude, oil change. Dude, the brakes. Dude, changing brakes on an SAMG, the racing rotors, 10 grand, bro. Ooh. For a brake job. Blow me. And you know me, I'm... so that's probably the dumbest purchase. The watch was probably another dumb purchase. That just doesn't... I mean, I guess it's cool, but doesn't provide any, actual, value,
And the revenue that you're spending majority came from Unlocked.
Oh, it's all of the money that I make is all from Unlocked. I mean, that'll change this year, obviously, with YouTube. Well, that's still Unlocked, I guess.
Yeah.
But then, Sorry Not Sorry, we'll take distributions at the end of this year and more hood shit, I guess. I don't know. Another AMG maybe on the way. I don't know.
Just a fun car.
I don't know.
The fun car.
I don't know.
Yeah. How about you, Paul?
Man, I don't know what the dumbest purchase was.
Mine wasn't that big. It was a love sack. Like that gigantic beanbags.
Yeah, I love
so
those.
stupid.
Oh,
Those
bro,
are
I have
expensive, though.
tons
Yeah,
of
those are
those.
expensive.
Yeah, that's pretty dumb. That's pretty dumb. Yeah.
The dumbest purchase like that, it's like that happens to me constantly. I feel like I can't keep cash in hand. But
Pizza oven?
that's still staying in my house. Like I went to Pizza Expo and bought one of these Uni pizza
The
ovens.
Unis or the Rock Box?
Unis.
Uni? Yeah. Casual, $600, just in the box.
Oh,
still.
it was a lot more than that. And I never opened
Yeah, bro, I'm
it.
not making my own dough and shit. I got time for that
Dude,
shit.
I've
When
never
that you
opened
showed
it.
off with Kevin
Yo,
Yeah, Kev makes it at home, and guess what? He hasn't used it since, I don't think.
Chef Tony Jamie said, "Oh yeah, you should buy one of these unis." I'm like, "Yeah, that does sound good. Yeah, I'm gonna make pizzas at home." Never even is still sitting in the box. Never even opened the box.
I got a Metro Pizza 5 minutes from my house, dude. I'm not gonna be making up no goddamn.
I'm not a pizza
fucking-
maker, bro. I just
Play the
quickly
Italian
realized.
accordion music, and you're
And I cook at home as much as the next guy, but bro, making pizza at home, that's a whole another.
Yeah, especially if you want to do it well, like ferment the dough, a 2-day ferment. I'm
Yeah,
like, dude,
like,
I
no.
gotta wait 2 days to eat this pizza now?
Crazy.
No way.
The smartest purchase? I don't know. I haven't bought a home yet. I was gonna do it, and I just didn't make sense to me, so I haven't yet. But I'm ready to do that. I bought Bitcoin a long time ago.
there you go.
Okay, I guess the dumbest purchase and the smartest purchase it was Bitcoin because for a long time I thought that was the dumbest purchase. I'm like, why did I fucking spend money on that? Now at this point, it's looking like it's a pretty smart choice, you know. So I guess that's
It's not a smart choice until you sell it and lock in those gains.
I could do that right now, but I'm not. I'm just holding on to it. I don't even think about it, you know.
All right.
Well, you've talked about enough about that on the residency and some of your guests.
Yeah.
By the way, what's happening with the residency?
So residency is probably on a permanent hold as of the time being. I mean, so we signed the deal with the Cosmo. Obviously, we shot the intro video, which I'll show you. Did I show you?
Yes.
Never went live.
No, never went live just because, you know, Jeff had started a company, Lowe's, running fucking 8 restaurants that he opened. He's opened up another restaurant every 2 months, it seems. Obviously, I'm super busy with Sorry Not Sorry and Unlocked. And getting big guests to the caliber that we were, just off of personal relationships, was good. But when it starts running out, like we had hired a talent agency for lots of money a month, and then, you know, we're about to launch this thing at Cosmo, but the guest thing for guests to fly in, and then all 3 of our schedules co-align, it was tough. So we might circle back and do something not as guest focused. It was just tough because, you know, residency, it did grow to an actual like top 50 podcast, actually downloaded podcast, not just for clips on social media. It was an actual big podcast, downloaded numbers. And dude, we were making lots of money with it, which was wild. We actually had a deal on the strip, which no one gets podcast deals. You either have to, you know, suck and fuck for endorsements and sponsorships, but we had a deal, which was a set amount per month, tequila sponsor per month, which was wild, and revenue from YouTube Shorts, Facebook, TikTok, etc. It was crazy. So we have to start it back up at some point.
All you guys are such great personalities. I feel like you don't have to be that guest reliant.
That was my thing too. But then the deal on the strip probably goes away if it's not so, which I'm fine with. Like, dude, we were making more than enough in sponsorships and ad revenue. So
It's just a lot of work.
it's a lot of work, dude.
time.
I mean, you guys know
I
it's a
think
lot of
people
work.
just don't understand
I was
how much
editing
work.
every fucking episode, all the clips. Like, dude, it's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
You know, like
Shout out
sitting
to the
through the whole
production
episode,
team.
live editing, switching the camera angles.
Exactly right. It's crazy.
It's a lot. But again, I'll pretty much do anything for a good paycheck. You know? So,
Suck and fuck. Here we go. You know.
you know?
That's going to be the name of the episode, I think. It'd just be right there.
Yeah.
S&F.
Years ago, there was a very popular YouTuber that I was pretty much obsessed with, Casey Neistat. He would just, you know, go around on his boosted board in New York City, look cool.
I think this is about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, we can stop it. Anyways, I thought there was a lot of great insight you guys gave because the journey has been kind of, I mean, uncharted territory, you know, especially for you to create what is all this now. So
I don't think it's too late.
no,
No, talking about people jumping in,
No,
even
it's
into the agency model and start running other people's. I just don't think it's late at all. I feel like we're just now getting started. And there's a lot of big brands in town that still doesn't know what the fuck they're doing on social media.
All the big ones, they all suck. So, but again, I think they're fine sucking. They're so dependent on, especially the strip properties, again, like I've talked about many times, they're so dependent on tourism in Vegas. If Vegas as a whole is busy, every single spot on that boulevard is busy, no matter what. So they don't really need a cool social media, all that other shit, you know? So they're fine paying a PR company that they had in the budget anyway when they started this concept to pay a cool to do social media, get me on the news, yada, 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 get me some articles. They're fine with that. They don't need to pay huge influencers to drive in traffic because traffic's going to be there if it's there already for the city.
I feel like a lot of those people have something in their ear, though, to do things right. Because now it's obvious if you're just doing a general cookie cutter social media, or if you're doing meaningful content on social media. So like when somebody looks at your feed, are they going to just think that this is just another like commercialized feed, or there's a little bit of brain behind this? I think they actually at the end of the day want it to be cooler, you know? So what I'm saying is, even if you started now, you're going to be able to get these opportunities when those people try to switch over to the cool side. You're going to be able to get them. And I just don't think it's late. This is why we take incoming leads.
Welcome to the cool side. Come on over to the cool side of social media, man. We'll make it cool.
Everybody does it, but only few does it cool, you know?
Well said. Well said. That about wraps it up. Thanks for being on.
What an episode,
Appreciate
Phil.
it.
Thanks for having us.
Awesome insight. See you guys.
Later.
All right.